Hello everyone out there, it's SuziChoclat from Taliswood Touch Crafts, and today we are going to do a card very similar to this. This is one I made last year or maybe even the year before. It's like a stained glass window. There we are, full shot. Yes, it's like a stained glass window. Is infilled with lots of different coloured glitters. When I posted this card on Craft World, quite a few people asked how it had been done and said they loved the stained glass window effect. And so I thought we would try it with a different die. And so, yeah, that's what we're going to have a go at, doing something that looks like that. And so I've got this die today, which is a little bit smaller. It's made by Pretty Quick, and it is some quite modern looking flowers and leaves. You can use any large die that you have. It doesn't have to be this one. It just needs to have quite a lot of open space where you can get your different colours of glitter in, and so anything like this with all this big open space will be perfect. And so whatever sort of die you've got, if you've got something that looks like that that sort of size, I think this is 3, oh, my ruler's stuck to my magnets. I think this is 3.5 by 5.5, and so you know, whatever size you've got really, because you can make any size card that you choose. I think this one here I've made is 5 by 7, but this one's not going to be as big as that because obviously it's only 3.5 by 5.5, and so even if we build up the layers, I've put quite a number of layers here. We've got the top die, then we've got a black layer, a white layer, a black layer, a white layer, and then a bigger black layer, and then the card. Actually, let's just see what size that is. Probably fooling me, and that might be the same size. Actually, it is. That's 3.5. And because I've cut it into bits, well, that's only 5 and 1/8, even with the gaps. And so actually it's going to be bigger. Yes, it's going to be bigger than that. Oh my god, what a surprise. I didn't think it was that sort of size, but anyway, so that's the die that we're going to use. And then we need some double-sided adhesive tape sheets. These are made by Create and Craft, but lots of people make them now. I'm sure Craft Stash have lots of different makes. These are A4 sheets. You can get them ready, you know, cut into smaller sheets, and you buy them like this. But you just need one that is slightly bigger than your die. So I've cut that to just slightly bigger than my die. Then you need a white piece of card for your die on the top. If you're going to use white card, you can obviously use any colour card you want, but white pops out from all of the glitters that are underneath it. Yeah, you need that, and then we need some more white card and some black card, obviously, to do the layers if you're going to keep it to black and white, but obviously your choice of colours, whatever you want to use. Let me get my mats out of the way, and then I have just got out loads of different colours of glitter. I'm not quite sure what colour scheme we're going to use today, but I thought if I get it all out, then I can, you know, do some nice mixes. In this one here, we've got lots of like there's pink in the centre, there's gold, there's a very dark pink, then that's like a teal green and a purple. So yeah, you know, 4 or 5 colours that all go nicely together. And it needs to be fairly fine glitter as well. A chunky glitter won't have such a good effect, so it needs to be a fairly finish glitter. yeah, I'm just looking. This is a Cosmic Shimmer. That's just a fine one. This is that's a Cosmic Shimmer in a pot. That's fine. This is Stampendous. Oh, that's ultra fine. What's this? This is a Nubo Pure Sheen. So that's yeah, that's probably the same. Yeah, that looks ultra fine as well. And so yeah, just a finish sort of glitter, and these are quite common. These little tubular ones. These will be fine. They are reasonably priced in any of your stationery shops normally. If you haven't got lots of glitter, that is actually craft glitters, but you'll be able to pick some up at a reasonable price somewhere. Right, so that's all we need to get on. Then we need some paper, because I think this is going to be pretty messy. And so I'll get everything ready, get some paper, cover my mat, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have cut my piece of paper, piece of card, and I have now lined my die up centrally inside of the frame. I think that looks central, and I'm just going to stick it in place with a little bit of washi tape so that it doesn't move. So the first thing we're going to do is to cut the die out of the piece of white card that we have cut to just slightly larger. Yeah, and so I think that looks fairly even all the way around. So I'm just going to run that through my big shot and just move the light. Oops, sorry. And just have a look and see. Oh, that's not cut. That's not cut. I'm going to need to have a little shim in there. Right, how many passes have we done now? Forgotten that many. Yeah, just doing a beautiful emboss. That's lovely. Actually, I could probably do something with that. Right, I'm going to take it off this time and see what happens. And I might have to scrap the tutorial if it's not going to be successful. Okay, so here we are, we're back, and I think it has, where I've run it through so many times, it has just moved a tiny little bit at the top there, and it's got some little frayed edges that I think I might just have to put my cutting knife through. Just, oh no, they're coming off. I don't want them to look like it's not been cut properly, but it's just there, but the rest of it is cut lovely. Just took a lot of passes to be able to get it through. Oh, that's all right, that's at the bottom, isn't it? Right, just quickly. Yeah, so there it is. So it's that way up like that. So that little frayed bit that I can still see, but I'm sure nobody else can see, is at the bottom. And so that's the first stage. Okay, so we are now going to stick the die cut onto the double-sided tape, and so I'm just going to pull one side right off. Don't throw that top cover away, because you'll need that to just help to release your fingers and to smooth things down. And so don't get stuck. that's the wrong side. That is just touched there. Please do not rip. Excellent. Right, there's one side that will come off nice and easily, so don't make that mistake like I just have. And then I'm just going to lay my cover sheet down so that this doesn't stick unnecessarily, but I've cut this piece of adhesive just slightly bigger than my die cut, and so just going to lay the top, and once you're happy that that's nice and smooth, you can then roll it down with the top cover, so it's like that. So make sure that it's stuck well on and you've got no edges that are coming up. So that's the next stage, and so I now just need to trim off this edge around here, unless you want to glitter that, because obviously you can, but I don't think I want to, and so I'm just going to lay that on this edge on here. Is that the right edge? No, it's the wrong edge. Lay this edge so that my scissors don't stick as I'm cutting. Right, let go, figures. Just grab my scissors. So I'm just going to you could of course have cut this piece of adhesive exactly to size if you chose to, but then I think it makes it just a little bit more difficult to make sure that you get your die on straight and that you've got sticky at the edges ready to put your glitter on. And so just make sure that's cut nicely right the way down so you've got no sticky edges, and then you are ready for glittering. And so I'm just going to get some glitters, sort my glitters out, and then we'll get on. So here we are, got a number of glitters. I've decided to use sort of autumnal colours, so I've got bronze and red, orange, yellow, gold, another paler red. I know that looks a little bit like that doesn't go with them, but that's quite, it mixes in quite nicely and gives an extra sparkle. And then I've just got some emerald green in this little packet here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to either tip, or I'm not sure if I might use a little one of these just to get it into, you know, sprinkle it onto the adhesive. The thing that I've found is it's best not to think too much about what you're doing, and so don't think, oh, there's a stalk so that's got to be green, and there's a leaf so that needs to be green, and there's a flower that needs to be red or whatever, because you might end up trying to make it look too specific, and this is really all about having a little bit of fun and making it look more like a stained glass window. And so it doesn't matter if the flower has two colours, it doesn't matter if the leaves or the stalks aren't all green. These are buds here, and here's a bud, there's another flower, and there's the few stalks that I can see when I'm looking at it anyway. I mean, they could be flower heads too, couldn't they? And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start off sprinkling some into one of, should we go with red, or should we go with, I think I might go with a little bit of orange in the middle actually. a little bit of orange. I'm just going to tap a bit of orange in. I'm not going to shake off, I'm going to rub everything in. And so just with your finger, just give it a little rub. And then I'm going to mix in a little bit of red around the edge. And you can just put where you think, you know, I might daub a bit of red down here. And where else might I want a little bit of red here? Maybe there. And then I'm just going to, oh, where's my bit of release paper gone? There it is. So I'm just going to hold this and just work the glitter into the adhesive. And then I think by rubbing together you get little bits of red like into the centre of that orange, and it makes a little bit look a little bit more realistic. So let's, I don't think I can tip this, I'll have to use one of my little spatulas. This is beautiful bronze. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So let's have a little bit coming up here and a bit up there. It's just about sprinkle in some colour and wherever you fancy it. And you haven't got to be arty, and you don't need to really take much care, because it's just wherever you put it, it's going to stick to the double-sided adhesive, which is underneath there. There we are, look at that. It's looking fab. I think I might have another little bit of this orangey down here, a little bit up there, like that. Right, so we had orange, we've had that red, let's get that out of the way. Have a bit of gold, shall we? Should we have some gold down, this is a bud or something here, isn't it? So let's sprinkle a little bit of gold on there, fill around that flower with gold, I think. Down this corner. You can, oh goodness, look at that. Oh, that's exciting. Right, and then I'm going to stuff a little bit of green. Let's try and get a little bit of green down some of these stalks here. Doesn't that look beautiful? Just keep rubbing it all in, doesn't matter if they mix over top of each other. Wherever you feel there's a little bit of adhesive, we need to fill it up. Right, so I've had a bit of green. Let's use a little bit of this bright. And let's hope it's not too vivid. Let's see what happens. Try a little bit. I'm going to try it on top of the green, I think, just to give it a little bit of a lift. Maybe in the gold, inside some red, just like a little bit of a highlight, I think. You can always put a little bit more on, but you can't take it off, so better not to put too much on all at the same time, just think about a little bit. Ooh. Oh goodness, look at that. Look at that, that is fabulous. Ooh. And that is mixed really lovely in with that red. This bright, vivid, electric lemon it's called, has worked. And that's given the green quite a good lift as well, I think. A little bit of green gone up into that bronzy. Should we try a bit of this red, see what colour? As long as your colours are all sort of the same. Oh yeah, that looks another nice little autumny colour, doesn't it? So we've used gold. Do we want some yellow in here? Or should we have some more dark? Just see what a little bit of yellow like down there. Oh, that's quite nice. Let's put a bit of that on top of there. Got plenty of little holes to fill in. I think I'm going to go for a bit more of the dark, so a little bit more of this bright bronze. Get a bit more down the edge there, some little gaps. Just want a gap up in the corner there, there's a bit there. Gosh, that's beautiful colours. Aren't they gorgeous? Very autumnal colours. Fabulous. So I don't think there's any more sticky on there. I can't feel any. I think it's all covered with one colour or another. Make sure it's all in these little tiny holes. And then I'm just going to screw all my tops on, so I don't have disaster. And get them all out of the way. Then we can knock off. Actually, we've created quite a lovely colour. I'm going to keep that because that is gorgeous. All those lovely mixed colours together. And then I'm going to give it a brush down. I've got a little brush, just a quite a fat soft brush, which I'm just going to give it a brush over with to start with. Just to get any loose glitter off. Like that, you can see there's quite a lot coming off. But what you don't want is for it to be falling off once your card is made, so give it a good tap. We've got quite a bit on the back, that's just static, unfortunately. It's on the plastic, which we're going to pull off in a minute anyway, so that doesn't matter. Just give it a little brush so it don't get over your hands. And then I've got a huge, great big, well, it's an old blusher brush, which I used to use to put my blusher on. Don't wear makeup anymore now, but I like to give it a good old, with a bit of a longer bristle. But you can use any sort of brushes that you've got. Oops. There we are. Really, really bright. That's really bright. Right, let's just have a quick clean up. Okay, so there we are. So that's what we've ended up with. Beautiful. Really like that. Really like that. And so now we're going to see. Now you could cut it. You could cut it into the, like I did the first card that I made. We could cut it into the sections like this. Should we do that, or should we just do it as one whole? Don't know, because it's going to be really long. That's what I was just thinking. I was just wondering if it could go on a 5 by 7. If I cut it, then we've got quarter. No, with great difficulty, quarter. Well, yes, I think I will do it. Let's see what happens. Let's give it a chop up. Rightio, so I've worked that out, and to be honest, unless you've got the same stamp as me, I don't think it's worth me even telling you what the sizes are. But if you do want to know the sizes, just let me know. Basically, it's cut your die that you've just glittered into 3 equal pieces, and then I've cut a black mat for behind this section, which is just about just over a 1/16 of an inch. Whatever width around your die you would like. I don't normally go for right 1/8 of an inch, because I think it's a little bit too wide for this, because I've tried to keep it the same as this white edge at the white edge that goes all the way around, so it looks like it's matching. And so I've cut 3 pieces of black, and then I've got a long piece of white which will go underneath it, and then once I've cut that piece of white to size, then I can do the black and white ones to go underneath that. But anyway, let's just do these one at a time. And so we're now going to peel the adhesive off and stick it onto this little black section here. And so I've got a little bit of glitter down the edge there. Where my scissors gone? I always keep a few bits of this for polishing and for holding. Right, so there we have it. So once you've cut your glittered die into 3 equal pieces, just cut 3 pieces of card, as long as they're all the same width. Then if they're a fraction different around the other edges, it doesn't matter, but as long as the sides are dead straight, I don't think you'll notice the ones that go through the middle quite so much. Okay, so now we're going to stick those onto here, and so I'm going to just rub that little dot from when I marked it. Yeah, so now I'm going to just get rid of that white bit so I can see what I'm doing. Actually, I think that's a tad too wide. I'm just going to trim that off. Okie dokie. Oh yes, that fits perfect. Okay, so let's get some, I'm going to use some Collal. Stick this on here. You can use any PVA wet glue Doesn't matter what wet glue you're using, whatever you like. I like to just pull mine out to the corners so I know it's not going to smudge out. Is that right? Yep, that looks good, doesn't it? That's the first one. Let's get the second one in. I hope you're finding it interesting and that you're going to give it a go. Because although it looks quite difficult, when you're looking at the card you think, oh my god, wonder how that was done. Really, it is quite easy once you've been brave enough to have a go. And once you've had one go, then you'll be well away and you'll be doing lots of them in all sorts of different colours. Right, so we're now going to leave a gap equal to what we've got down the edge and along the top. Now, does that look straight? Yep, I think that looks straight. Just gonna so I don't get too much glitter on my fingers. There we are. Right, let's go for the third one. And just pick it up and have a look and make sure that they all look equal. And that these are level down here. Just make sure your sides are, both your sides are level and your black or whatever colour cardstock you're using is lining up nicely down the edges. And then give that one a shine, sticky on-y. Make sure that we've got nothing that's loose. Just go back over them. Yeah, there's no glitter coming off now, so it's a little bit like a self-shed one now. There, beautiful. So I'm just going to trim this white card and cut the other layers, and then we can stick the card together. Right, I've cut all my pieces of layers now. So we've got the white one that we've already stuck the pieces onto. So then that goes onto a black one, which goes onto another white one, which goes onto another black one. And then I've just cut a base card for that to fit on there. And so I'm just going to quickly whiz all that, stick it all on, whiz it all together. Oh, there's a little bit of off. Stick it all on, and then I'll speed it up so that it goes with the flash. And there we are, there's the finished card. So the eagle-eyed of you might have noticed in that fast forwarding that I stuck it on upside down. I got the flowers up the wrong way, and so I had to take it off and redo it. So that's the one that I've just done today, and this is the one that I did last year or the year before. Slightly bigger, but along the same lines, and I think it looks fabulous. I think it looks really fabulous, both of them. They are different, they do look different. This one I've got more solid sections, do you think? And this one maybe not so. Let's just bring it up so you can see. Mind you, actually looking at it like this, I think that it is equally as, yeah, I've got the solid sections and I've got this lovely bronzy brown. That's gorgeous, isn't it? And so there we are, easy as that. Probably the cutting the layers to size were the most time consuming bit, but actually doing the doing this, got a little bit of glitter there, I'm such a faff, get it off. Yeah, doing the glittering itself didn't take very long at all, and so hopefully you'll have liked what you've seen and you'll give it a try. Let me know. Really would love to see what you come up with. So thank you very, very much for watching today, and if you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and give me a like or maybe a comment just to let me know what you think and whether you're going to give it a go. And I'll see you again in the next video. Thank you very much for today. Bye bye.